Welcome to JVillage Learn. This particular webinar is going to be on menus and navigation and how to manage and edit the various menus and navigation items that you have in your website. You have about 4 different types of menus on your website. The first one being the primary or main navigation, which can either be in a horizontal orientation, or with some sites it goes along the left-hand side of the website. Another navigation item you have are the header links up in the top of the banner, and then if you scroll down to the bottom in the footer, you have footer links. And then some sites also choose to have quick links, which is another type of menu. So those are the basic 4 different types that each site usually has with it. So let's start with the main menu. Your very top level navigation are your primary sections that you have for your community. And then each one probably has a drop-down menu that has then sub-pages and a sub-navigation. Some clients try very much diligently to just have one level of navigation that drops down, while others just have so many activities and different areas of their community that they do go down to a second level underneath the primary nav. Occasionally you'll have even a third level, but we do suggest not going any further than a second level, simply because you don't want your user to take too long to get to the information that they want to get to. So in order to manage your menu and navigation items, you first have to log in. So whether your login is at the top of the website, the bottom, or it's hidden behind the /user URL directly, you go ahead and log into the website. And then once you're logged in, the administrative menu along the top will show up, and the way that you access your main menu is through structure and menus, and then select main menu. That will show you not only the top level navigation items, but all of the sub pages that are listed underneath there. All of the items that are justified to the left are your top level items. Connect, worship, schools, those are all the ones that are the primary nav. And then as an item is indented, that indicates what level it is down from that primary navigation item. So as you can see, the About Our Synagogue does have a second level of navigation. I don't see anything on here that has that third level. But it's very common to have at least a second level down from an item. One of the easy things about this CMS is that you can click and drag things to reorder them. So let's say, for example, if we look under our worship section and we have a holiday minion coming up, maybe you would like to click and drag that up to the very top of the menu, so that it's the very first link that shows when someone clicks on worship, rather than a couple of options down. When you click and drag any item, it will highlight in yellow, and that's supposed to warn you that if you don't save what you've just done right now, you'll lose those changes. So once you click and drag and something is highlighted yellow, then scroll down to the very, very bottom of your menu and save that configuration so that you don't forget and move on to some other task, and you go back later and say, what happened? I thought I changed that arrangement and it's back to where it used to be. So just remember that when you go to do something. The other thing that's very easy is to move something from a level down to a level up. It's just a matter of click and drag. So for whatever reason you wanted to move membership up to a higher level so that it's on the same level as directions and About Our Synagogue, you can just click and drag. Again, it's highlighted yellow. It won't save that position until you actually scroll down and save that configuration. You can do click and drag, multiple click and drags in one session. So if I move that membership back in and I move my my worship holiday minion a little bit further down the list here, I can do, oh, actually, I correct myself. I think you do have to do it. No, as long as there's a star on it, you can do more than one at a time. So once you've made all of the movement changes you want, you can save the configuration. So you don't have to do it after each one, but before you go on and do something else that doesn't involve moving things around, you do need to save that configuration. Okay. Another thing that you can do fairly easy in this main menu editing panel is you can enable and disable your links in the main menu fairly easily. So take, for example, this holiday daily minion. If we're not in the midst of a holiday, there's not one that's actually going to be offered, and we want to disable that link, we can either uncheck this box and it will disappear from the main menu, but it will still appear in your menu configuration. So if I do that and save configuration, then when I go to my home page, take a look at worship, my holiday minion is not showing anymore. But if I go back to that menu, structure, menus, main menu, takes a little long for it to upload here, that link to the page is still there, but it will say disabled next to it. So this is a great tool for any of your seasonal pieces of information. So you don't have to recreate that link every single time that holiday or that event or that religious school program comes around and you want to add it to the menu. You can simply just check and uncheck the box to disable it from the menu link. The other option you have is to delete a navigation item altogether. And to do that, you can simply click on the delete item. It will ask you to confirm that you want to delete that link from the menu. You could go ahead and click confirm. And now that join by an online application link has disappeared. Now the content itself has not disappeared. It hasn't deleted your content from the website, but it has deleted that link. So if you want that link to appear again, then you have to go through the process of adding a link. Okay, so let's take a look at how to add a link back. All right, so I'm just gonna take a look at my content here. I'm gonna look for a piece of content to add to my main navigation. Let's see. Look for a basic page. There's two ways that you can add content type to your main navigation. You can do it through the content type itself, or you can do it through that menu structure. So let me show you how to add it to through the content itself. So if you've created a basic page, go into edit here. Okay, you've given it a title, you've given it some content, and now you're ready to provide this particular piece of content with a link in the menu. Then you go to the menu settings, and if it did not have a link already, it would look like this. You would just simply need to check the box. It will grab the title of the content piece as the menu title link itself. So if you don't like what that title is for the link, you can manually update it and change it. The description field is a very useful tool for congregations who want to make their websites as accessible as possible for people with disabilities. Screen readers use this description field in order to tell the person who is using the screen reader what the link is. So if you want to help people out who may be accessing your website through some type of tool to help them see or hear these links that they're accessing, then using that description field is very helpful. What I usually do is if my link is descriptive enough, then I just copy the link title and put that into the description. And I'll show you what that looks like in a couple minutes here. Your next step is to choose the parent item of where that link goes to. The default for all of your links would be the main menu, which you'll stay away from unless you're actually creating a top-level page for your menu. Most of the time, you're going to pick a subsection that the link, that the menu link appears in. So in this case, it's a Shabbat lunch. So that could go under worship, but I think there is also an opportunity in here to participate. So let's put the Shabbat lunch under participate, and I can choose for it to go as a primary or a secondary item under participate, or if let's say the sisterhood was the sponsor for this lunch, maybe I would put it underneath the sisterhood. All right. The one thing that you do need to make sure is that the article is published. If for whatever reason the content isn't published, it won't show in your menu. So make sure that whatever it is you want to see on the front end is published so that you actually can see it. Okay, so now that I've saved this change, it will take me to the front end and show me where this particular page is now located. It's under my participate section, and now it's under the sisterhood Shabbat lunch. If I really did not want my Shabbat lunch to go under the sisterhood, again, you have two ways to change that. You can go and you can edit through the page itself under the main menu and select a different parent item. Or as we were looking at earlier, go to Structure, Menus, and Main Menu. Find where the page is under Participate, and decide I actually want this to go up under Worship so that people can see what's going on. Okay, I think I grabbed the wrong thing. Here, there's the Shabbat lunch. So let's maybe put that up a little bit higher here. Shabbat prayers. There we go. So click and drag. It's yellow. That tells me I need to save this before I move any further. And now my Shabbat lunch is going to appear under worship. Go ahead and check that. Okay. So there's the Shabbat lunch. So what if I wanted the Shabbat lunch to appear both under worship and somewhere else on the site? You basically just have to create two links. The limitation is that you can't tell a page to link to two separate sections through the page. So I can't go in to edit the page and tell the link I want you to appear under worship and the sisterhood. But you can take the alias of the page right here, and go back to your menu, Structure, Main Menus. Create a link. I'm going to just call it the same exact thing. It doesn't have a problem with you naming links the same thing, so that is something to be aware of. Place that alias into the path setting, and again, the description here is the same thing that I mentioned earlier. It helps with people with disabilities identify things, as well as people who are not completely website savvy. So let's go ahead and put this back underneath, add this again to the sisterhood section. Okay, so now I have under worship my Shabbat lunch here, and if I scroll down a little bit further, it also is underneath the sisterhood. So I have that link in two different spots. So what I was saying about the description, I'm heading back to the home page again to show you what I mean about that. If I go to worship and I scroll over Shabbat lunch, there's that little pop-up that says Shabbat lunch. That's what happens if you add text to the description of something. It's a prompt to someone to let them know, to reiterate where they are and what they're linking to. And again, it's used by screen readers for people with disabilities. Same thing under participate. If I go to sisterhood and I hover over Shabbat lunch, that will pop up. Okay. So that's pretty much the basics of your main menu administration and editing. Anybody have any questions about that? Sandy, do you have any questions about any of those items?
No, it's pretty explanatory.
Okay. right, so I'll move on to the header and footer links. So at the top of your site, most people have links at the very top. When you're logged out, they're a different set of links. So when I'm logged out, all I see is calendar, donate, and login. But once you log into the site, it expands it so that when you're logged in and you go away from the login page, you can always go to your account through that header link to change your password or update any information related to your own login account. So to change header links, you actually can do it fairly easy from the front end. When you scroll over one of these menus, there's a gray wheel icon and a drop-down item to click on. If you select List Links, it will take you to the back end, and this looks very familiar. It looks pretty much just like the main menu, only it's one level of links rather than several levels of links. So let's say I have a membership management database that I want to make available to my members to log into through one of those header links. So to create a new header link, you click on Add Link, and I'll title this as Member Login. I'm just going to come up with a fictitious login since I don't really have one. If you're going to a third party, you would use the whole entire URL for that third party to create to the login page to that third party. But I'm just going to have this go to the JVillage website. And then again, the description. In this case, I'm going to put login to your membership account. So that gives even a little bit more of a prompt of what that link is supposed to be for. And then click Save. Okay. Usually if you add a new link to a menu, it will add it to the very bottom of the list. Sometimes it adds it in alphabetical order. But just be aware, it may not be at the top. You may have to scroll down and look at it at the bottom. So I'm going to roll this up to right after my donate. That's where I want it to appear in the menu in the header links, and go ahead and save that configuration. So if I go now outside to the front end of the site, my member login is there. And if I click on it, it's going to take me to the JVillage website because that's where I told it to take me. But again, if you want it to actually go to a third-party database, if you have Haverware or any other MM2000 or other types of login pieces. Another item might be a newsletter. Some people put their newsletter links up here, but actually I would say that newsletters are probably better for the quick links. So let me hold off on that until I cover quick links. So then the other kind of mini menu are the footer links down here where I have contact us and directions. So again, the way to easily get in there and manage it is to roll over it, see the little gray toggle, and then click on List Links. And again, we see a very similar menu. And it's the same process to add a link to the footer links as it was with the header links. You click on Add Link, add your title, your path, maybe some helper text for the description, and then click Save. And you'll have added another footer link to the system. Okay, going to pause there. Sandy, do you have any questions about header links, footer links?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, so along with the front-end way to add those links, this is another item that's under Structure and Menus. So you'll see that there's a footer menu. You can go there to add footer links, and the user menu is what's referred to as the header links in the back end. So those are also two ways to access those two menus. Right, so then the last one I wanted to cover are the quick links. So again, if you're an admin that has rights to edit blocks on your site, you just go to the wheel icon, click on List Links, and you'll be taken to a very similar menu. So again, if I wanted to add a newsletter to my quick links, I could click on Add Link. the menu title, newsletter. Let's see, I don't actually have a path for that, so I'm going to just go ahead and take you to the JVillage website again, since that's what I'm familiar with. Okay. And then from here I might put monthly newsletter if it's a monthly publication. Click on Save. And there's my newsletter. If I don't like where it is in the arrangement, I can always click and drag, save the configuration. Okay. I would say that most people probably have a PDF newsletter to use on their website. So let me go see if I can find if I have a PDF of a newsletter on here. So if I go to my account, and I go to File Browser, I want to see if there's any PDFs on here that I can use. I don't want images. I want uploaded files. Let's see if there's any PDFs in here. Well, there's audio and there is board meeting notes. But so let me just go ahead and upload something. Let's see. Go to Upload, choose File. Text. All right. Doesn't look like I really have any newsletters here. Oh, there's one right there. It looks like it's maybe a day school newsletter from 3 years ago. But this is for examples anyways. So I clicked my PDF, and now I'm going to upload it. Okay. This is the tricky part about uploading a PDF to any of these menu links, is that you have to get the URL for this particular content item. So I have it here. Okay, if I double click on it, it's going to open it up for me. And what I want to do is copy the whole URL. I'm going to go back to my website. I'm going to go back to my quick links. I'm going to go to my list links, and now I'm going to change that newsletter link to the PDF file rather than the JVillage website. Save that. Okay, so now let's go back to the home page. There's my newsletter link. One of the things I forgot to do is to see if I can open this link to a new tab. The reason you want to do that with a PDF or an external link is that you don't want the user to replace your website with an external piece of information, because then after they read it or they've gone to that external site and they don't want to see it anymore, if they don't remember to back browse, then they're going to lose your site. If you have it open up to a new window or a new tab, then they can have both access to your site after they're done reading and be able to see that asset at the same time. Let me see if this is going to work. So there should be a box that says open this link to a new window. I'm going to save that and go back to my home page. Okay, and hopefully what it's going to do is, no, it didn't open up in a new tab. There may need to be an update made to the site in order for that to work. We have some sites that doesn't like to open up links through menu items. When you link it to a piece of content, you can have it open up to a new tab, but for some reason some of our menus aren't updated enough to have links open up to new tabs, so apologize for that. Okay, Sandy, any questions about the quick links box?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, so those are the basics of editing the menus of your site. A couple of best practices would be try to keep your menu links as short as possible. so that they don't text wrap and become just too long and unmanageable for your users to get through. Remember, you're not describing everything that this link takes you to. It really just is the title and the essence of what the person needs to know what's on that page. The other is that despite the fact you can pretty much add as many links as you want to the subnav and as the first level and the second level down, your primary nav is an area where you want to be careful not to add links to. It's related to the design and the width of your site. So if you begin to add more links than what the design can accommodate, your primary nav will loop down to a second level. I was just looking at a site today that had this happen to them. So if we go over to this client site, you'll notice that they added an extra item to their primary nav, but it now falls down below their About Us page, and it's very difficult, for a user to know exactly where they are. What this client could do is give us a call, let us know that they've added this extra item, and we can respace things along the primary nav so that all of them would fit on one line rather than having it wrapped down around. But generally best practices is that you have between 6 and 8 items to choose from along the top, depending on the length of how you're describing your different sections. I'd already covered another best practices, which is try not to go any further down than 2 levels in your website. Third one starts to get a little crazy. So instead of going down to a third line, maybe you should just have more options on the top level of menu items rather than having people go down to a third level to find something. And I think that's pretty much it. There's a couple other areas in your footer, but these are blocks. They aren't menus. If you take a look at your footer here where you have your contact information, that's a block rather than menu. And the same thing for the social media icons. This is a block that has just little thumbnail images that have hyperlinks. It's not a menu. So I just wanted to make sure that you're aware of that. Okay. I guess a couple other things that I could show you how to link in your website would be event descriptions and blog posts. So let's say, let's go to the calendar. So let's say the Sisterhood board meeting. If you click on the Sisterhood board meeting, each content type has its own alias, its URL. So pretty much anything with a URL you can create a menu link to. So if I copy the Sisterhood board meeting event, and let's go to my main menu, structure, menus, main menu. I'm going to add a link. This will be the Sisterhood board meeting. I'm going to paste that path in there. I'll put Sisterhood in there to give it a little bit more of a description. And then my parent link, I'm going to go ahead and find the Sisterhood page again. That was under Participate. The Sisterhood. Click on that and then save. Okay, so now when I scroll down and I look for the Sisterhood items, I can see that the board meeting is there under Sisterhood. If I wanted to move this up above that Shabbat lunch link that I created, I can click and drag, click on Save Configuration. Okay, and then I'll test the link by going to the outside. Participate, Sisterhood, click on the Sisterhood board meeting, and it's going to take me to that calendar description page. So that's a really, great way to promote some of your events, is to make it a direct link into your menu to something. Another would be a blog post. So let's say that your rabbi had a very important blog that he or she created. See, I don't know if the rabbi has a blog on here. Let's see if I can find it. Find to see if the rabbis post anything. Okay, here we go. So here's a nice little test blog. So let's say this was a really important sermon that the rabbi just delivered, and I want to actually link it to the rabbi's page or the rabbi section. So again, it's a content type. It has a URL. I can create a link to anything that has a URL. So I'm going to copy that URL, go to my structure, menus, main menu, scroll down. Let's see, does our clergy have a page? Looks like our rabbi's blog is already linked. So let's link this to the rabbi's blog area. So click on Add Link. So let's say Rabbi High Holiday Sermon is what this blog post is. I'm gonna add that path, and again add that descriptor. Then go to the find the parent item. So I'm scrolling down. I'm looking for a rabbi's blog, and that's going to be my parent item. Click on Save. Okay. Scroll down. Oh, there it is. I'm going to click on it, and that will also take me out to the front end. And now I can see where it's located. It's under Worship, Rabbi's blog, and that particular sermon. So now it's linking directly to that full blog post. And then, at some point, after it's been up there for a couple weeks, I might want to take it down. So I can go in to edit my menu. Here's another way to get into your main menu is the left nav. So you can click on List Links. That will bring you to your main menu. So after a while, I either want to disable this or actually delete it. Let's see, where was it? From my menu. Okay. All right, so that's all I have for managing your menus and navigation. Any questions on your end, Sandy?
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much, Jean Elizabeth.
Okay, you're welcome. If you have any questions about any of the topics that were touched upon today, you can always go to the JVillage support page. There are a couple of videos on managing your menus. If you go to the client support page, click on training videos. The third one down starts the discussion about your menus and navigation. So adding content item to your main menu, adding content to your submenu, and then also changing the order of your menu items. And since this webinar was recorded, I'll be placing that on the webinar archive page, which is located under support resources. So I'll be adding that in the next day or two. All right, thank you so much, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.